Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another Yugioh VRains episode summary analysis, cast list analysis, whatever you want to call it. I haven't done one of these in quite some time. I haven't even really been uploading a lot, which I do apologize for. School has just been, again, very, very hectic. I always feel bad when I don't upload at least 3 or 4 times a week, but I have kind of kicked myself in the ass, and I'm putting off homework until later tonight to make this video and to talk about the 27 and 28 summaries with you guys, along with the 29 and 30 titles. Now, the good thing about this is we do have the cast lists as well with the 27 and 28 summaries, so we will be kind of in-depthly focusing on those 2 episodes, and then I'll give my brief thoughts about episodes 29 and 30 based on the titles of those episodes. So anyway, let's get right into it. If you don't want any spoilers, click off this video right now. Big thank you to DMC for translating, and here we go. I will link all of these summaries in the description if you want to read them for yourself. So episode 27, which will be airing tomorrow, so most of you, I shouldn't say most of you, but a few of you might be watching this video after 27 has already aired. The warrior Shima Naoki. The another phenomenon has affected the real world and struck fear into the citizens. Because of the phenomenon, Link VRains is now on high alert. At the same time, due to something, Naoki decides to fight against the Knights of Hanoi. That is so broad, but I guess it's good that it's broad because it'll leave us wondering, you know, what really triggers Naoki to duel against the Knights, which is awesome to see. Again, Naoki is someone who I feel like I can just relate to a lot, not in the whole, you know, being I don't know, I just like Naoki, and I can relate to him because we know based on his very early character summary that he's someone who is just starting to learn how to duel, and he pretends that, you know, he's this really good duelist, but we know that he's not. We haven't really seen that in the show yet, and I hope we do, because it's funny, a lot of people on Twitter and a lot of people who kind of more casually watch my videos will ask me in the comment section or ask me on Twitter about like what they think about their deck or what they think about this new card and how it could affect certain decks. And I'll get those messages quite a lot, but you guys who do watch me often know that that is not my forte at all. So in the terms of people thinking that I'm a really good duelist, whereas there might be some people who think Naoki is a really good duelist based on the kind of facade that he puts on when he's really not, and I'm not either. I can relate to him. I can't relate to him, you know, being an asshole, but I just find that hilarious. So that is one of the reasons that I do like his character. I don't really have much expectations for his character, or I didn't, so I'm glad that we are going to see him dueling, and I know by the preview, we know how his VR form is going to look, so I'm very excited to see him duel. Most likely he's going to be dueling Faust. The cast list is Yusaku, Playmaker, Ignis, Kusanagi, Naoki, Faust, Knight of Hanoi, Robapi, Duel Club's president, Sato, Tanaka, and Suzuki, which Sato, Tanaka, and Suzuki are all members of the Duel Club, if I recall correctly. I looked them up, and I'm pretty sure there was very little information on there, but those aren't really any new characters. They're all members of the Duel Club. So before I really get into it, let's go right to episode 28. This was the cast list that came out today. Episode 28, The Three Knights' Final Lieutenant. Faust, the mastermind behind another, takes Naoki hostage, oh man, and lures out Playmaker using electric worm monsters known as motor worms. He seals away Playmaker's Link summon. In order to break through Faust's elaborate trap, Playmaker flies into the data storm and uses storm access, which we actually have not seen in quite a while, so that'll be cool to see, hoping to turn things around. The cast list is very small. It is Yusaku / Playmaker, Ignis, Kusanagi. I gotta stop calling him Ignis. I know it's the AI. I know Ignis is like the term for all of the people, so I do apologize. All of the robots, so I do apologize for that. Kusanagi, Naoki, and Faust. So very small cast list. And then I'm just going to read you guys the 29 and 30 titles, and then I'll give my analysis, and I hope to hear from you guys as well. 29, Kusanagi Report, and episode 30 is The Door to Hell. Episode 30, you can also see, will be animated by No Gilbo. The last episode that got animated by him, we got Honey Dicked, because I'm pretty sure it was episode 21, which, as you know, or if you don't remember, was the recap episode. So they had him be the director for the recap episode, which really, really does suck because we only got like 3 minutes of new footage from that episode, which, yes, it looked beautiful like any No Gilbo episode does, but we still got screwed out of seeing a full No Gilbo animated episode. Episode 30 will be very aesthetically pleasing, so that's something that we can look forward to. And the title, very exciting as well, The Door to hell. So I'll start with 27 and 28, then I'll give my thoughts on 29, because I've seen a lot of people kind of worry that 29 is going to be a recap episode based off that title, the Kusanagi Report. It sounds like it could be like a silly recap episode, which would be a real shame. So I'll give my thoughts on that in a little bit. But just going to 27, we know Naoki is going to enter Link VRains. What I hope happens, because there is a generic Knight of Hanoi that's going to be dueling, I hope Naoki at least beats a Knight of Hanoi, and at least he gets a win against the Knight of Hanoi, because at least that would like legitimize him to a degree. Because clearly he's going to lose to Faust. Faust is going to take him hostage, and that's going to be that's going to be that. So that'll be interesting to see, because we haven't really seen a Knight of Hanoi get a win yet, and I'm not saying, beating Naoki is going to legitimize them in any meaning of the term, but it'll just be cool to see at least a knight get a victory, because we had Vira who lost to Aoi, we had Gnome who lost to Go. At least Faust is going to get a win. And what's interesting, too, is the first line in the 28 summary states that he's the mastermind behind another, even though I was pretty sure that Vira was the mastermind. So that, again, is just more of a sign that these two probably work together, and they probably co-mastermind. They probably co-created, that's a better word, this another virus, and it just probably furthers my thought that they are husband and wife. That's just, because we know Vira is 30 years old, which is very old for a Yu-Gi-Oh character, and I imagine Faust is probably around the same age. They raised Revolver together from what we know based on Vira's flashback in 26, or 25, excuse me. So I think that there is definitely a strong bond, at the very least, between Faust and Vira. So I'm excited to see Faust duel. I don't really know how to feel about these characters going back in hindsight, because at the end of 26, we had Vira get her eyes closed by Revolver, which the way he did it was very similar to how, like, a coroner would close the eyes of a corpse, and a lot of people made that comparison. So a lot of people think that Vira is dead rather than her being another, which I don't really agree with. I don't, just because it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Really doesn't kill off characters, and if they do, they get revived anyway. So I don't think that she's dead. But it looks like in hindsight that these three kind of are going to be, I hope not, but maybe one-off characters, which would definitely be a shame. Gnome definitely did not have a change of heart. Vira was always kind of on the teetering saw, and she did have a change of heart at the very end, which a few people thought was a little quick. I didn't really have too much of an issue with it, because when we first get introduced to her, you can see she's torn between this whole situation, and she feels guilty. So we already saw that side of her. It would have been completely different had she not shown any resentment for anything, but she showed a pretty deep amount of resentment for things. So I didn't think that was necessarily bad storytelling to have her get redeemed that quickly, and then for the Knights to, again, just show how brutal they are. They quickly kill her off right when she releases everyone. And I just think it's interesting that Revolver, again, was probably the person who killed her off. So, and then we have Faust, who we don't know if he's going to be redeemed or not, but it seems like these three might be one-off characters for now, which is a shame. And if they come back, Gnome will still be evil, Vira will have a change of heart, and we don't know where Faust is going to lie. So it'll be interesting to see Faust versus Yusaku, which will take place in 28, 29, and 30. So this is where I definitely get concerned, because 29, the Kusanagi Report. Now, a lot of people love Kusanagi. I myself, I'm just kind of on him, because he hasn't really done anything. And here's the thing: if he goes into Link VRains and duels, or if he does something that's like really, really awesome, like one of my favorite moments is when he just freaked out during that Yusaku Akira duel. He's gonna be a very fond character in my opinion. But at the moment, he just hasn't done anything. He probably is the character that has the most potential at the moment, considering where they are right now and what they've done for the first 27 episodes. Because all Kusanagi's done, he's been that backseat player, and he's been Yusaku's right-hand man, and he's been a really, really great right-hand man. But I want to see him get his hands dirty a little bit. I want to see a little more emotion from him, like we saw in, I believe it was episode 18 or 19, sometime during that Yusaku Akira duel, excuse me. And so I'm hoping 29 is a Kusanagi backstory episode, where maybe after they defeat Faust, they get another piece of information and they learn more about Kusanagi's brother. They learn a little more about the incident. And 29 is not actually Kusanagi reporting what happened in the duel between Gnome and Go, what happened in the duel between Aoi and Vira, and what happened in the duel between Yusaku / Naoki and Faust. because that would be a shame. And if that happens again, the director who apologized after the recap in 21, that apology all of a sudden is kind of flim-flammy. And now we've had a recap every 8 episodes since 13. We had a recap in 13. We would have had a recap in 21. And now there's a possibility, just based on this title and the fact that we don't know who's storyboarding, directing, and animating this episode, which is another kind of... I wouldn't say it's a red flag, but that says to me that maybe they know there's not going to be much to write about this episode, and that's why they're not really focusing on it and why we don't have members for it. I don't know if there's going to be any truth to that at all, but I'm just worried that this is going to be yet another recap episode. I hope it's not. I hope it is backstory on Kusanagi, and it will lead very well into episode 30, which is titled The Door to Hell, which is an awesome, awesome title for an episode. I know the Revolver and Yusaku rematch is coming. I know the Playmaker Revolver rematch is coming, and I wonder if this will be the start of it, because now that the Three Knights Final Lieutenant, which is the episode title for 28, are going to be defeated. I mean, we can all assume that Faust will lose to Yusaku. We're back to the basics. We're back to Spectre, who has been completely MIA and will not be speaking in 28, because barely anyone is speaking in 28, neither will be Revolver. We're back to Revolver and Kogami. We're back to those 3 main Knights of Hanoi that need to start dueling, because, again, they're the ones that are going to be implementing this final apocalyptic, end of all days plan. And I'm very excited to see what will come and what the next duel will be and what the next step will be, even from a team point of view. Remember, Emma still has a piece of information on that hard drive that she stole from the Soltex databank. So there's a lot of ways that this can play out, and I just want to see more interaction from Aoi, Go, and Playmaker. I want to see maybe more of a team being formed before they infiltrate the Knights of Hanoi base, which at this point Kusanagi has not been able to track down. I mean, we know the base is in Yugioh VRains, but Kusanagi and Yusaku, 2 amazing hackers, and even Emma most likely, don't know how to access the base. And maybe 29 and 30 will be... Maybe 29 will be all about them trying to figure out how to get to the base, and then 30 will be them literally entering the Knight of Hanoi base, which is why they are entering the Door to Hell. Just a theory, guys. But anyway, let me know all your thoughts on these definitely thought-provoking titles and these summaries and just where the show is headed, potentially, for the rest of the month of November. I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts. Please leave all your thoughts down below. I will talk to you down below. And as always, thank you for watching. I hope you have an amazing day.